Hello Lengguys! I'm back again! And nandito naman po tayo sa another informative vlog. And meron akong good news sa inyo. Finally, nakuha ko ng visa ni mother and father! Woo! So, for today's vlog, we will be talking about tourist visa or standard visa application for parents or sino ba? Like brothers, in my case for parents. Okay, so the topics that we'll be discussing today is number 1, the documents that you need to prepare. Number 2, visa fee, magkano yung kailangan mong i-prepare and gastusin. Number 3, I will guide you through the visa application. And 4 is the biometrics. And lastly, ilan days yung waiting time and yung timeline bago nakuha yung visa application. So, if I'm ready, you're ready? Let's go! Okay, so the documents that you need to prepare, first is the bank certificate. No applicants. To be honest, I did not provide my bank certificate anymore. I just provided my 6 months payslip. That's it. Pero yung bank certificate dapat sa applicants. Birth certificate of both applicants and sponsor. Next is COE of sponsor. So, by the way, guys, ako yung sponsor and ang applicant are my parents. Okay? So, I've provided my COE, I've provided my COS, and then old and new passport of applicants and sponsor. And then, what else? If your parents are senior citizens, you might as well provide the pensioner certificate. But in my case, my parents are self-employed. They're both self-employed, so I did not provide any pensioner certificate. And if both parents are still working, you may want to provide COE, payslip, BIR, or ITR. So, kay mom and dad, they both have their own businesses, so I've just provided their DTI permit sa business nila. I did not even provide their BIR anymore or ITR. I have provided on the description box below a sample invitation letter that you can copy. And then I've also provided some family pictures and my tenancy agreement. Right. For the visa fee naman, the standard visitor visa for 6 months is 100 GBP. So, hindi siya katulad ng US na isa lang yung, yung rate for the visa fee and then malalaman mo na lang kung multiple entry ka or what. But in UK, there's a different fee for or each category of visa, if you know what I mean. So standard visa for 6 months is £100. Standard visitor visa for medical reason is £200, good for 11 months. Standard visitor visa for academics is also £200, good for 12 months. 2-year long-term standard visa is £376, 6 months per visit. The 5-year long-term standard visitor visa is £670, also 6 months per visit. And the 10-year long-term standard visitor visa is £837, which is 6 months per visit. I think the maximum months per visit to do a tourist visa is just 6 months. Even if you've been approved with a 10-year long term, you can only stay here for up to 6 months, and then you don't have to apply again kasi you've been approved with a 10-year long term. But in my case, I just applied for the standard visitor visa, which is £100. And then if my parents would like to come back again to UK to have another holiday, then we will just apply for another standard visitor visa. So yeah. So for this vlog, I will also include guided questions, which I will upload on the description box. So you may want to check that link, or you can follow me through this video guide process that I will do in this vlog. So if you're ready, then here we go. So, before anything else, of course, we need to go to gov.uk.com, the usual when we start to apply for anything. And then search for standard visitor visa. So go straight to apply for a standard visitor visa. Here you can see the visa fees. Apply online, click apply now. Select your language, of course the easiest language, go to English. Next, select a country to provide your biometrics, so that will be in the Philippines because that's where my mom and dad are gonna be coming from. Next, I have identified a location where I will provide my biometrics. Apply for a UK visa. Before you start, just go straight to start now. And I open another application in my browser, but just start new application. Here you will need to register an email. So when I applied for my parents' visa, I used my own email address, but I have to do it twice because I have to make an account for my mom and also an account for my dad. But it doesn't matter if I use the same email address, so I still use the same my Gmail one. So you have to create a password and repeat your password and then save and continue, and then go check your email. Then you'll be able to see the link. There's a link that you need to click so that you can log in back into your account and start your visa application. Okay, guys, so these are the questions or the guided questions when you apply for a tourist visa. So once you've clicked the standard visitor visa, um, it will start with the contact preferences. So which email address should be used to contact you with any questions? I've chosen yung email address ko kasi ako yung nag-apply for both of my parents, but you can also put in the email address of your parents or the applicants. Tapos yung next page, lalabas dito your name. Ito yung name ng applicants, not the sponsor. So, I am filling out the application on my parents' behalf. Just think of it as you're the main applicant. So, I've placed in here the given name of my mom and my dad, and then details of your other name. So for my mom, I've placed there under other family name yung maiden name niya, and there's parang next page tatlingin dun what's the reason for the other family name, of course because of marriage. And then your sex and relationship status, and then your address. So address nila sa Cotabato, that's what I placed. Is this address also your correspondence address? Meaning, do you send in your passport? Then I said yes. And then how long have you lived at this address? Ilagay mo kung years pa or months. And then what's the ownership status? It's either you own it, you rent it, or other. And then passport. So for passport details, I've dito mo ilalagay yung passport number, passport details ng depende kung sino yung applicant. So, for this for this application, I started with my mom, and then ibang application naman for my dad. And then issuing authority, issue date, and then identity card. In terms of identity card, do you have a valid national identity card? I've answered no kasi hindi po sila na-issuehan nung national ID na in-issue ng government kasi hindi kasali dito yung passport or yung license. So, just click no. And then, nationality, country, and date of birth. Yan, lagay mo dyan. Other nationalities. So, kung meron ba sila ibang other nationalities. So, no, obviously. And then, employment status. What is your employment status? So, my mom is self-employed. She's a dentist. So, I click there, self-employed. Your income and savings. This is a part where you have to put if you have other income or savings. So, in case of my mom and my dad, they both have their own businesses. And other income. So, I just put other regular income and then savings. Kung walang savings, and then click I do not have any other income or savings. And then about the cost of the visit, how much money are you personally planning to spend? So just give an estimate of the amount, which includes flights, accommodations. So let's just say in pesos, gagastos ka ng around 80 to 100,000 sa flights, and then sa accommodation, of course they're not gonna pay anything this because they're gonna be staying with me here in the UK. So if I remember correctly, I think I've put there mga 150,000 pesos. Yun yung estimate. So depende rin sa inyo. And then about your financial situation, what is the total amount of money you spend each month? So, tinanong ko sila kung magkano yung mga bills nila sa bahay, sa kuryente, rent, we don't rent kasi we own the house. And then, kung ano-ano pa, yun yung ilagay nyo dyan na estimate. And then, paying for your visit. This is, medyo, ano tong dito na part? What do you call this one? Gray area siya, paying for your visit. Kasi nakalagay dito, will anyone be paying towards the cost of your visit? Actually, I'll be paying for their ticket. And I've also paid for their visa application. Pero parang para wala na masyadong hingiin during your biometric appearance, I've answered no. Pero to be honest, sa application ni mommy nilagay ko no, and then sa application ni daddy, parang nilagay ko din no, pero may nilagay ako sa last part na I will be paying for their flight tickets. Um, so I don't know on this part. Maybe just to be safe, just put no. Kasi if in case you're gonna put yes, you might, if ikaw yung sponsor na kukuha sa kanila sa UK, you might be asked to provide your bank statement or credit cards or kung ano-ano pa. And if, baka kung hindi yun magtugma, if hindi yun kaya, makita ng officer na hindi mo kayang sustentuhan yung parents mo going to the UK, baka ma-hold lang yung application mo. So, just to be safe, I would advise or I would highly recommend just click no. And then put the planned travel information. So, date you plan to arrive in UK and then date you plan to leave in UK. And a spoken language preference. I just click English. Ang hirap naman kung ilalagay mo pa Tagalog, Filipino, di ba? And then main reason for your visit, of course, tourism, including visiting family and friends. And then main reason for your holiday visit, visiting family. And then this part, your activities, you give the details or the main purpose of your visit. So yung nilagay ko, my daughter would like us to spend my 65th birthday in UK. We have not seen her in blah, 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 how many years, and would love to spend time with her and her family. And then while in UK, we would also love to visit London and other tourist spots near the city where our daughter resides. So yun yung nilagay ko na reason. And then your current partner. So for in this case, sa kay mommy 'to na application, so nilagay ko na current partner, yung kay dad naman na passport details, date of birth, and then of course nationality number. Will they be traveling with you in the UK? So sabay sila papunta dito, so the answer is yes. Do they currently live with you? Of course they live together, it's yes. And then do you have people who are financially dependent on you? So in my both of my parents' case, wala, because me and my brother we have our own jobs na. So wala na silang dependents. And then this is the part where you have to give the details of your parents. So start ka muna sa either mother or father, then you have to provide their names and their date of birth. And then family who live in the UK. Do you have any family in the UK? So yes, the answer is yes. And then about your relative, so relationship, nilagay daughter, and then yung name ko, and then Philippines, country of nationality. And then do you have any other relatives who live in the UK? So they don't have any relatives who live in UK apart from me. The rest are in US and other countries. And then traveling is part of an organized group. So will you be traveling to the UK as part of organized group? So they're not an organized group, they're just a couple. So the answer is no. Traveling with another person. So will you be traveling to the UK with someone who is not your partner? So the answer is no, kasi spouse sila. And then staying with family, who will you be staying with the UK? So on this part, the name that you put under details about relative in the UK will automatically appear on this part. So lumabas automatically yung name ko kasi sa akin sila mag-stay. Now, my contact details, so I've put in my telephone number and my email address. And then other places you will stay, well, in the UK. I've actually clicked no on this part kasi parang if you click yes kasi baka the officer would ask you to provide a reservation for a hotel or other accommodation apart from from your son or daughter's accommodation, or from the sponsor's accommodation. So to be safe, again, just click no. And then UK travel history. So this is the part wherein you have to list all the places that you've traveled. So have you been to the UK in the past 10 years? So wala pa sila nakapunta ng UK, so no. And here's the part, travel to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA. So how many times have you visited the following places? So, si mommy kasi, she's been to the US 3 times, and si dad twice. So you have to put in the dates kung kailan yon sila pumunta. And then, which country did you visit? So yon, USA. And then, kung nalista mo na yung lahat ng mga travel dates, kung kailan yon, the next is world travel history. So these are the countries that you've traveled to, apart from those countries that was mentioned earlier. So sila mami, they've traveled to a lot of countries, especially in Asia. So nilista namin lahat yon for the past 10 years na, ha. You don't have to include those beyond 10 years. So they've been to China, to Korea, Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore, uh, um, ano pa, Thailand. So, lista mo lahat nun, yung mga travels, yung mga travels, and makikita mo naman yun sa passport kung kailan yung entry and exit mo. So, yun. And then, immigration history for either the UK or any other country. Have you ever been refused or deported, removed? So, the answer is no. Breach of UK immigration law. So, the answer would on this part would also be no. Convictions and other penalties. Of course, dapat ang answer mo dito is no. War crimes, no. And then click I have read all the information about war crimes. And then terrorist activities, no. Lahat yan, dapat ang answer mo dyan is no. And then extremist organizations and views, again, no. And then I have read all the information, save and continue. Person of good character. So, on this part, dapat no din lahat ng mga answers mo. And then, save and continue. Oh, by the way, if at any part na sa tingin mo hindi ka pa ready to proceed with your application, you can always save and continue, and then or save and go back later sa application. You will receive an email link that you can always go back to, basta as long as you save your application, and then just click in the email yung link, your username and your password, and it will go back to the last page of your application. So yun. And then on employment history, have you ever worked for the following types of organizations? So sila mami kasi they're self-employed. So I have not worked in any of the jobs listed above. And this is the part where you have to put in any additional information where you haven't parang hindi mo nasali from the previous questions. So dito ko nilagay yung part na my daughter will be paying for our trip. Pero dapat hindi ko na rin ginawa yun kasi natakot ako baka lang hanapan sila ng credit card ko or bank details ko, pero hindi naman. So, yon. And the last part would be ano yung mga mandatory documents or other documents that they need to bring sa biometric appointment. So, of course, their passport, and then their evidence of funds, and then invitation letter. Those are the top 3 documents that you need to bring. And then save and continue. This is the part that I've mentioned earlier. So kung hindi ka pa ready, just click return to this application letter, then you'll be able to receive an email link. And then visitor conditions. So while you're on a tourist visa, you have to remember that you're not allowed to work in UK. You can be detained, prosecuted. So bawal siya, bawal talaga siya, guys. So wag niyo na lang i-try. And then just click I confirm the understand and accept these conditions, save and continue. And the last part is the declaration. So declare mo, I confirm that even though I'm the one who applied or answered the application, I just click I am the applicant age 18 or over para wala ng question. sa application ni mommy and daddy. And then you have to check all your answers kung tama ba, and then click continue. So the visa options, you have the option to choose 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. So I just chose 6 months, and the standard service for that is $126. Save and continue. Tapos, yun, that's it. And then after that, payment na, and then you'll be able to receive your confirmation number, which you will then use to log into VF to get an appointment for VFS. So once you've paid for your visa, you will be redirected to the official Partners of UK Visa site, which is visa.vfsglobal.com. You will just need to provide the reference number which you will receive in the email after you paid for your visa, and then the email address that you've used, and the country of application or the center wherein you were gonna apply for the visa. And then once you've created an account, just write the reference number again and then your email address, and then you have to pick an appointment date and time. Then you have the option to buy further services like gold premium package. But if you want to save money, might as well self upload, which is for free. You can just save your documents in the computer and then upload them on the site, which means you don't have to print for the barcode separators. It will be uploaded separately already on the computer. So once you've reviewed your appointment details, the date and time, just click confirm. Then you'll just have to self upload your documents. Click yes, I will do it now. So there you have it. Under the categories for self upload, for accommodation, I did not provide any documentation for that. Educational evidence also did not provide. Financial evidence, this is the part where you need to upload the bank statements of applicants, DTI, BIR, and then additional documents that includes the passport of applicants, passport of sponsor, US visa of applicants if available. Under consent letters and proof of relationship, I've provided at least 2 or 3 family pictures, birth certificate of applicants, marriage certificate of applicants, and birth certificate of sponsors. And then employment evidence, I also did not provide. For sponsor evidence, this is where you need to provide the invitation letter, your COE, COS, the PRP and passport of sponsor, and the tenancy agreement of sponsors, and also my 6 months payslip. So when you upload documents, just click the drop down arrow and then choose file. So just click the file where you save them on your computer. And then don't forget to click the I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions before you save and upload. So if you're satisfied with all the documents that you've uploaded, just click back to my account. But if you want to upload more files, then you have to click upload more files. And every time you upload files, you will always receive an email update. So you have to print out the last email that you received with all the list of the files that you have uploaded, and that's what you need to bring to VFS together with your passport, your document checklist, and your VFS appointment. And also don't forget to bring cash to pay for the LBC fee, which is the official courier for VFS. So finally, for the timeline or the waiting time, I've applied for the visa last January 24, 2023. And then I've booked an appointment on February 21, 2023, visa appointment in Manila. And then my parents received a text message that the passport has been dispatched already last March 10. So that's how many days? 17 days. So more or less 15, mga pumasok siya dun sa 15 working days na sinasabi nila, which is yun yung average timeline before you'll be able to receive a decision. So basically, pag na-receive mo na yung message na your visa has been, or your passport has been patched, technically speaking, parang approved na yon automatically. But if in case they will still need documents, you will receive an email that will say you need to provide, at this point, your visa has not been approved yet, but you need to provide additional documents. Pag na-receive mo yun, doon ka na medyo kabahan. Pero since na-receive nila na dispatch na, so nintay na lang namin kung kailan nila ma-receive yung visa. And then, syempre my parents live in Mindanao, so it took 4 days before they receive the actual passport. So, finally, na-receive nila yung passport with the vignette last March 14. So, yun na nga, na-receive nila yung visa nila March 14. Tapos, sa work pa ako noon, my mom sent me a message sa messenger, yung passport details na nila. Syempre, maluha-luha pa tayo kasi 14 years natin hinintay. Or, ano ba yan? So, ayun na nga. March 14, dumating yung passport nila, mommy. And then, nasa work pa ako that time. So, medyo maluha-luha pa ako na na-receive ko yung message ni mom. Kasi ba naman, ever since I've graduated from college, yun na yung talagang goal ko na mabigyan ko ng somehow parang gift sila mommy, sila daddy na makapunta somewhere, na gusto ko ako yung gagastos for them, and ito na nga, dumating na yung opportunity. So, thank you, Lord. Thank you talaga, Lord, sobra, for all the blessings. And of course, I wanna thank Sherl Gorospe. She's one of my colleague in ED here in RUH. Kasi, na-inspire ako sa kanya kasi nakuha niya rin yung parents niya to go on vacation here. So they're currently, her parents are still here on a holiday. So I've asked her what are the requirements. So yun, siya rin yung tumulong sa akin to go through that process. And that's why I am again doing this vlog, para in case may mga friends and families na naman tayo dyan would ask me how to apply for a tourist visa, standard visitor visa. So, ito na yun. Ito na yung isisend ko sa inyo. Okay? Hope once again that was able to help you with this information. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to message me on YouTube or through my Facebook account, Meds Pisa Docalios. And yeah, I'll see you guys, and I will give you an update once my parents will arrive here in UK. I was planning to bring them on May 1, and they're gonna be staying here for 2 months before they go back to the Philippines. So thank you for watching, and again, please don't forget to like and subscribe to Leng-Leng's Moment. Yay!